first gear is gone. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Auto Auction Rebuilds. Today, we're going to work on the 69 Chevelle SS. That's right, it's got a problem. It's got a couple problems. Let's jump into it. But before we do, I've had some people asking, how's the Panamera doing? The Panamera has been perfect. The cheap car of the two is actually doing great. I've had absolutely no issues. I've been daily driving it. In fact, I sold my Teslas, both of them. I sold my Ram, and I'm about to sell my Harley. I sold everything, and I'm just daily driving this. Now, I would like to also be able to daily drive the Chevelle as well. I came out the other day and went to start it to take her for a ride, and, well, she decided she wasn't going to go for a ride. That's right, the carburetor seems to be having an issue, and unfortunately, I don't know the first thing about carburetors. So there is not much I can do to fix it. I'll tell you what the problem is, though. It is dumping fuel. I mean, dumping fuel down into the engine. You fire it up when it's cold, it'll run for a minute, and then it just progressively starts idling worse and worse. It dumps so much fuel that eventually the car dies out, and you can see smoke, like fuel vapors burnt, coming out of the carburetor, out of the exhaust, like it's dumping a ton of fuel. And I already tapped here and I already tapped there, thinking maybe it's a float that's stuck or something, and it did no good. So what I did is I did the right thing, and I went to Summit Racing and I ordered this bad boy right here. There we go. Let's have a peek, shall we? What is this? This is a Holley. Uh-oh. Well, these QFT carburetors are all made by Holley, or owned by Holley, I suppose. It's that quick fuel. This is a Slayer 750. It's the big boy. Oh yeah, take a look at this. There, that better? Take a look at this. What this is it should be exactly the same thing that's already on the car. Yeah, that looks the same. And let's come over here and take a look. Yep, looks the same, looks identical. Good deal. We've got this this interesting little block that they made there to run these dual lines to the carb. We'll definitely need to save that. So what I'll do is I'll just take these off here. We'll take off the 4 bolts. We'll also take off the positive wire for the electric choke and some linkage, and hopefully that'll work. The other issue that I have is I don't know how to tune these carburetors. Now they come out of the box, I suppose, kind of ready to run, but they're not tuned, you know what I mean? Like there's fuel mixtures that need to be set, and some I can do like the high-speed idle and then the regular idle, but as far as like adjusting, I think these are the floats, front and rear. You have your sight glasses. I think you're supposed to turn this or something and get it to where the fuel is right in the middle. I don't know. What I'm going to do, though, I'm just going to swap out the carburetor, and I'm going to hope that at least we can get it running good enough that I can drive it again, and I can focus on getting it properly tuned a little bit later. Maybe Santa's workshop can help us out with that. He probably knows something about tuning these carburetors. So let me get out some tools and let's get started. All right, so we're starting out with some problems, and that's great. You'd think something that's so pristine would come apart super easy. Unfortunately, no. These fuel lines are absolutely stuck. These will not come off, and yeah, you can see I damaged them. They will not come out, and there's no room here to really hold on to this as this thing is spinning. See that? The whole thing spins. So I'm trying to get on this with vice grips, hold that and knock that loose at the same time. I've tried tapping it with a hammer to try to pop it loose, just not happening. So yeah, I guess we're gonna have to take this off and just pull the whole carburetor with these fuel lines. I'm going to have to figure out another way of doing these fuel lines because those things are absolutely refusing to come off. Unfortunately, the new carburetor did not come with new fuel lines to go into this double pumper, man. So we've got 2 fuel bowls over here, one on each side, and you've got to have a fuel line on each end. And the new one didn't come with one, so I'm gonna have to figure that out. For now, it looks like it's about a 1/2 inch. Take all 4 of those off. Got to pop this linkage off over here. That should be fairly quick. Take a couple springs off. It's a manual transmission car, so there's nothing really. Look at that. That's that easy. This should just pop. That should have just popped off. I'll have to get a screwdriver there. Just pop that off. All right, she should just pop right off. If we can just get this, oops, get this out of the way here. This whole thing should just come up as an assembly there. Uh-oh, what did I forget? Oh, yeah. Look at all that gasoline dumping in there. That's what I was saying, man. She's just, that's dangerous. You can blow up an engine that way. Dumping fuel. It's the secondaries that are doing it too. All right, let me get this vacuum line off and she'll be ready to come up out of here. Also, just found that the brake booster is leaking severely. There's a big crack, a split in the hose right there. I don't know how well you can see it, but if I squeeze on a little bit, yeah, she's got a big old crack. Huh, right there. There it is. Yep, let's get this carburetor out of here. Try not to get any gas on the paint. All right. There's the old one. There's the new one. They're identical, but now the problem is going to be what do I do about these fuel feed lines. That's a problem. I may have to go to AutoZone and see if they've got something I can throw on there, because these are just coming apart. It's tearing them up and they're coming apart, and I don't think there's anything I can do about it. I'll come back here in a minute when I got something figured out. All right, I think I got it figured out. I'm not happy with the way this came out. Take a look. This is the new carburetor. What I did is I took these pieces off of the old carburetor. That was the only way to do it. I separated this right here so I could spin this whole piece out, spin this whole piece out, put them back together, and hopefully this works. We'll see. I've got the new vacuum lines and everything set up. I've got the intake ready. Just a matter of taking this carburetor and, dare I say, slapping her on. There we go. Well, I'm gonna have to, there we go, just like that. Just like that. Bingo, that's perfect. That is perfect. I don't know if we're gonna have any fuel leaks or not. If we do, that's gonna suck, but it's a matter of bolting this sucker down. And then I want to put my AC belt on, so I'm going to have to take some of these belts off. We'll go ahead and put that AC belt on, because at some point I want to get the AC charged up in this thing and going. I'm pretty sure it works. We're also going to go down to AR headquarters, get this thing on a lift. I want to take a look underneath it, see how bad it is. I know that the rear main's leaking. I know that the front seal is leaking as well. I know the shifter pops out of first gear, and she leaked quite a bit of oil, probably 3 or 4 quarts between California and here. So I know it's going to be a hot mess under it, but I want to see what everything looks like underneath. I want to put the new wheels on it and see what she looks like with a fresh set of 18s. I don't know if I'm going to like them or not, but let me bolt up this carburetor and get this belt on, and we can give her a try and see how she runs. All right, time to find out if she's going to work and hopefully not dump gas everywhere. If so, then I'm just screwed. I haven't put these belts on yet. I'm going to do that here in a minute. I just wanted to make sure that it's gonna run. I replaced all of the vacuum lines going to the brake booster, the PCV valve over to the back of the carburetor. They were all kinds of split and cracked and just, they were tore up pretty good. So we were definitely getting some vacuum leaks there. That doesn't help things any at all. Hopefully she'll run. I've got everything hooked up, and now it's just up to her. Let's see what she wants to do. Brand new carburetor. All right, moment of truth. I think we're gonna have to replace this transmission too. Oh, why am I pumping? There's no gas in it. Pump it up, girl. She's trying. She's trying. Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. She's alive. She sounds nasty. She sounds nasty. Listen to her chop it up. Listen to that. Tell me that's not beautiful. Oh, okay. Time to check for fuel leaks before we catch something on fire. I still got that exhaust leak over there. I need to find that. Check for fuel leaks. No. No. Anything under here? No. Nothing. Choke is opened up nicely. Yeah, I need to find that leak. I'll bet it's coming from the front over here somewhere. Under this air compressor where you can't see it maybe. Well, she sounds pretty good. Oh. Oh. Okay, let's shut her down, see how she starts back up. Uh-oh. There we go. She's getting better. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and shut it off. Got to put it in reverse to take the key out. And I guess now we can focus on getting that belt on, or I could just wait till I get it down to AR headquarters. What do you guys think? Should we do it now? I'm probably leaking oil. That rear main is leaking all over my driveway. That's nice. That's nice. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead, I guess, and try to get this hose on, or this belt on real quick just to get it done. And then we can head down to AR headquarters. Let's slap some new wheels on this bad boy and get a look underneath of it. See how good it looks, or who knows, maybe it's rusted out underneath. I don't think so. All right, let's make sure everything is good. Everything looks all right down here. Air compressor is hooked up, belts on, belts on, belts on. Square alternator, power steering pump, and AC compressor. We're gonna go ahead and fire it up, make sure nothing comes apart. Make sure it's continuing to run the way it's supposed to. And then I guess we can get down to AR headquarters and put some new wheels and tires on the old girl. She needs to warm up a little bit. Sounds good though, guys. No belts have fallen off yet, so wouldn't surprise me if got a plug or two that's tried to foul out on us from all that gas it was dumping. There we go. Oh, the AC compressor is running? Why? Oh, don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. Is that why the belt was taken off? Because the clutch is constantly engaged? Oh no. Hopefully that's off. I think I had it on air conditioning. Let's see. I did. I had the AC on. Okay. The clutch is no longer spinning. Woo! So does that mean that there's Freon in it? Could that mean that the air conditioning actually works? Uh-oh. Surely not. I wouldn't think the AC would work in this. Well, as usual, I get here late and the sun's going down and my doors were locked.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had to break into my own house. Somebody came over and did a good deed and locked the door for me. I didn't bring the keys with me, so.
Oh boy.
I got an alarm, so I don't lock the house generally. There's no need to.
Right.
If you open a door to the shop or the house, if there's motion, it's gonna let me know,
Yeah.
and I don't have to sweat it, you know. That's what an alarm is for.
Right.
So generally I just leave the house unlocked and I've never had a problem, but okay. We got Michael from Santa's workshop over here. He assisted in breaking into the house. Thank you very much.
Now, last time I did break in the house,
Yeah?
you got it in this time.
Yeah. This time, last time it was you, this time it was me. I almost called it the El Camino.
Oh.
The, well,
in his car like that.
the Chevelle made it down here just fine, with the exception of my vacuum hose popped off the back carburetor.
Yep.
I was pissed, dude.
It wasn't the booster.
No, it wasn't. I thought for sure the booster died on me on the way down here, and it was sucking air because the car was dying at a stop. I couldn't keep it running. The brakes were hard as hell to stop.
Well, that's what happens when a vacuum hose comes off.
Yeah. Well, I knew it was a vacuum leak. In all fairness, I called the vacuum leak.
Right, that's true.
I just misdiagnosed. I thought for sure it was coming from that booster. Anyway, she's down here. The sun's going down. I'm going to have to get on this pretty quick, guys. I want to get this thing cleaned up. I'm going to clean up the wheels and tires because those things are absolutely beautiful. I haven't decided if I'm going to show Michael these here in a minute. I'll show you guys when we're ready to put them on the car. When I get the car on the lift, going to get up underneath it, take a look and see how she looks. But I want to get it cleaned up, give it a quick bath, clean these wheels and tires. The tires I hate. Those bias plies are absolutely hell to drive on. But the wheels, those are beautiful wheels. And if I ever decide I don't like the 18s, or I get bored with them, tired of them, I can always go and put a set of 15-inch tires back on this, and it would look, it'll look sick as hell. Those tires are too tall for it anyway. Those are the wrong size fit. Those are G like 70. Those are the old school G70.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That was fun driving 1,500 miles. I'm gonna start it up real quick just to verify that it runs now because I coasted in here and it died. Yeah, it was bad. But I'll bet she fires up just fine now.
That's a torque monster.
Oh yeah. Little exhaust leak, I think, coming from the header there at the front. That's another thing I'll check when I get on the lift, try to figure out exactly where that leak is coming from. Doesn't sound like it's gotten any worse, so that's good news.
Yeah, I think it is that front one.
Yeah, it sounded to me like it's coming right from the front.
Chrome or ceramic coated headers.
Yep.
That's what I'm wanting to get for that El Camino.
They did a nice job putting this old girl together.
They did. They really did.
It just sat for so long, and cars sitting ain't good for them.
Nope.
So, look at this right here. This gives you an idea how long she's been sitting.
Oh, man.
This, 5 years ago, this was a show car at Mecum auctions. All right.
Oh, my God.
5 years ago, it was at Mecum, and this thing was a showstopper. And now it's covered in mud all through here. So
that's just sad.
Yeah. You can see what it used to look like under the hood.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what I'm hoping with a quick bath, I can shine it up just a little bit. I did this, just wiping it down.
Right.
So I figure if I shoot the foam on it, the foam cannon, and really get up on it.
Did you use any kind of compound or anything?
No.
Wax?
No. I just wiped it down with glass cleaner.
Wow.
That's it. Just some glass cleaner and a rag, and this came out to that.
A car like this should never be left in the outdoors.
Well, I can't say anything. It sat out in the rain for the last 2 days, so until it stops leaking oil, it ain't going in my garage.
That's what cardboard is made for.
That's true. That's true. I'm gonna get the look at this.
Wow.
And the doors. Damn it. I mean, the doors are just okay. Yeah, you fucking would, right?
Just a little bit of lube on that hinge and that latch will make all the difference. Oh man.
Windshield wipers work.
Now see this.
Doesn't leak.
This is how you should build a car.
Yeah.
I mean,
I did a good job, didn't I?
You did real
building
good.
it, building this car.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Somebody did though.
You just wrote a check and said, "There, you thank you for building it."
Well, people like bought, not built. Well, somebody built it.
Yeah.
Somebody built it. Somebody had to build all of them. So I don't really get the whole bought, not built thing. Some people are into building them, and some people just want to enjoy them.
Right.
Unfortunately, I don't have the best luck. We'll get it on the lift, and we'll take a look at that transmission, the rear main seal.
Even if you have to get the transmission fixed, and I would have it fixed and not get another one. Get your rear main seal in it. I mean, it has been sitting.
Yeah.
You have got this thing will take you anywhere.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It'll pass anything but a gas station.
Yeah. That's a fact. All right, guys, let's try cleaning her up a little bit. Listen to this exhaust. Oh, it sounds so good. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
I think you about broke his neck looking at it.
Everybody does.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I could just stand there and listen to it all day. And this one's not misfiring. No. This one doesn't sound like that because it's broken.
Right.
You hit the gas and it will, well, you can't use first gear, but I would love to.
Okay. That video from Mecum Wrench Mike when you passed him.
Oh, yeah.
I played that over and over just to listen to that thing just, I mean, that was beautiful.
When the video comes out, I was doing 120 in this on those bias plies. Him and I raced. I smashed 3 other people that tried to race me too. This car, I won't say it's like fast. It's pretty quick though. It's pretty quick. Yeah. All right, guys, let's see if we can get her cleaned up, get the paint shined up a little bit. I mean, anything's gonna look better than what it looks right now. It looks so dingy and dull. Makes me sad. Get those tires cleaned up, and we'll get her in the shop and see what she looks like underneath. Could be a rust bucket.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. But we won't know till we see. Do you want to see a foam cannon? Let's do it. Oh, yeah. Oh, that is beautiful. Let's get it. All right, well, it's that time. We got her on the lift. It's time to get underneath it and see how good or how bad it is. I'm going to go ahead and spoil it for you right now. It's better than I could have ever imagined. Before we do that, though, check out what was sent to me. I thought this was super, super cool. I love the shirt. So a big shout out to favoruponmecreations@gmail.com, Instagram, favoruponmecreations, Facebook, favoruponmecreations. Go check these guys out. They got some cool shirts. I like this. I like this. Thank you so much for sending me a free sample. Next, there's the 18s. I was concerned that 18s were going to be too big for this car. They weren't going to look right. I don't know, guys. We're going to have to see what those things look like on the car. I think they're going to look great. Look at that offset. I believe that's a 5mm offset. Those are really, really nice. DWS 06 pluses. All right, so yeah, Continental Extreme contacts and some American Racing wheels. I think they're going to look really good. These tires are so, I mean, it almost sounds like wood. They're hard as a rock. Ooh, this one is splitting in half right here. Oh, wow. Well, I almost didn't make it. I almost didn't make it. Let's start at the front. Let's work our way to the back like we always do. We're going to start right here. Look at this. Now, what I like to look for are new bolts. Do we have any new bolts under here? Oh, yeah, everything under here is new. It's all coated in oil thanks to my leaky rear main seal. But everything under here looks very, very new. Or at least not used. Let's put it that way. Take a look. Idler arm. Fuel pump up in there. There's the front of that big block motor. There's your front sway bar. Yes, I believe this is called an F12 suspension. It's got the front and rear sway bar, 12-bolt Positrack rear end. Take a look at the suspension components over here. The ball joints look good. Sway bar bushings look good. Everything under here looks new. It's wild. Look at this. Even the motor mount bolts, which you can probably barely see up there, they look new too. These springs, all right, the springs still have the stickers on them, the tags. They have tags for the stickers. Everything under here looks great. I'm very impressed. The only thing that sucks is, as I said, the rear main is leaking. The front seal is leaking too, but the biggest issue is the rear. There she is right there. There's the flywheel. Looks like we got one of those little bitty starters. It's a Hitachi, probably like one of those small high torque starters. It looks new, but again, covered in all that oil. Really hard to tell. A little dirty under here for sure. But look at this. Look at this. Look at these headers, these ceramic coated headers. Whoo! That's 3-inch exhaust right there, guys. That's not 2.5, that's 3. That is 3-inch exhaust. That's why the sucker sounds so mean. There's that Muncie. I wish I knew if this was an M20, M21, or the Rock Crusher M22. I don't know, but I do have some numbers over here that I'll read to you. Over here we've got 3885010. Then stamped in over here is P7H as in Henry 13. So I don't know if those numbers will do anything for you to help you figure out what this transmission is. I can tell you the engine matches the car. Okay, there is a stamp on the pad at the front of the engine, and that number matches the VIN number of the car. So it's a numbers matching engine. Transmission, probably not. I'd almost put money on it that somebody's had to replace this transmission before. But at least the motor, that's the most important thing. The transmission is not that big of a deal. The motor itself is original to this car. And I got some supporting documentation that's supposed to come any day now on the build of this car. And I'm going to share that with you too. That should be here before I release this video. So I definitely want you guys to see that. Up here, here's this linkage. Maybe that just needs to be adjusted. Maybe some of this linkage crap is what's causing my problems. The clutch works fine, but I don't know how to do this. I'm going to have to Google this or something. First gear just pops out like crazy. Next, we have an H-pipe. Take a look at that. Beautiful, beautiful welds. Thick welds. They didn't screw in. Now, it's nasty because all that oil has been blowing back. I'm going to have to get under here and pressure wash this whole thing. Oh, this tire's really bad. I didn't realize how bad this tire was. No wonder this thing rides like it's going to throw you off the road, man. These tires are absolutely horrible. It's time, guys. Let's pull it off. Let's see what it looks like inside there. Oh. All right. Let's see what she looks like. How's that suspension look? We didn't get to see this part yet. Very clean. Look at those rotors. Brake pads. There's plenty of life left on them as well. You even still have the cap. Look at this. There's a cap for lubing the ball joints. Wow. This is insane. This is insane. This really is it's like a new car. All right, moment of truth. How are those going to look? Let me grab one, throw it on here real quick. I'm nervous because these were like $2,300. And if they don't look good, then I just threw away a lot of money. Tire rack, what's going on here? What's going on here? Okay, there's a hub-centric ring in the middle here. Should have just slid on, unless there's a hub-centric ring on here already. There's not. You know what? This has got a lot of grease on it. Let me clean this up real quick, and we'll try it again. All right, let's try this again. Hopefully it fits this time. Oh boy. It does not want to fit with those hub-centric rings at all. No, she is not liking. So now I'm gonna have to pull them back off, and we'll do it again. All right, so I took the rings off. Now it has to fit. And it does, it fits perfect. It fits absolutely perfect. I don't know why that is, but there it is. What do you think? How does it look? I don't know. I'm gonna have to let it down and really see what I think about it. The tires seem so much smaller. Okay, let me get these knocked out. We'll get a better idea of what it really looks like once I've got them all installed. Well, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Ran into one little problem though. You tell me what you think. How does it look? Now, it's got to settle a little bit. All right, it's still sitting a little high. The body will sit down a little bit on those wheels as I drive it. Take it to the other side, because that is where we have a problem. Looks good, right? And then you get back here. What happened? What happened there? Looks like we're going to have to hobble home with some mismatched wheels and tires, because that one is a different bolt pattern. It figures. The last one is a different bolt pattern. The tire size is the same, the wheel's the same, but the bolt pattern is different. That wheel will not fit. Every other wheel fit fine, so I had to put this one back on. I've got a car show this weekend that we're going to, so that should be fun. I guess as long as they only look at it from this side, it'll be all right. What do you guys think, man? I think the offset looks really nice. I love them. I love them. I know there's some people that are going to be like, blasphemy. That's awful. You got to keep these. These are what belongs on it. Yeah, I know that, but something about this just makes it look a little more modern, man. I mean, it really, to me, it makes it just look so much better. It's not all chromed out. It's not black like everything else that you see. It's got a nice machined lip right here. Not too deep, not too narrow, just a really nice lip. This nice graphite looking color right here, and then a little bit of chrome in the middle. Just enough chrome to kind of tie into the tailpipes, bumpers, and some of the little chrome accents around the car, trim, door handles, and stuff like that. It's just enough chrome, I think, to look appropriate. I think it looks good. All right. So I guess I got to call Tire Rack, and and I've never had to deal with this before, so I got to call Tire Rack and figure out how do we do this. And I know I'm going to get yelled at. Rusty old brake drums. Oh, that's awful. And I agree. It is. But I'm limited on the amount of time I can spend down here tonight, and I don't have time to paint the drums and paint the calipers and wait for everything to dry and then turn around and go home. Actually, the fronts don't look bad at all. Those back ones, though, they should be painted. And that's something I'll attempt to get to. I'm not going to promise, but I'm going to attempt to get to that as soon as possible. As I just take the wheels off, and I noticed the shocks on this car are Delco. The shocks have Delco labels on. Even the shock absorbers on this car are Delcos. Yeah, I can't wait to see what that paperwork says. I'm supposed to have it any day now, so hopefully I can include some of that paperwork in the video so you guys can get a better understanding, and me too, as to where this car came from, how long it's been sitting. I'm really, really curious. For now, I'm going to lower this car down. I'm going to go home, and we will reconvene when I have some more answers. All right, guys, we're back with the Chevelle. I'm not going to take up too much of your time on this portion of the video because, well, it's dark outside, and we got the new tire from Tire Rack. Thankfully, they shipped it over to us next day. Here it is, ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and throw that on. I just got through tinkering with the carburetor, got the idle set a little bit better for me. Also, I told you guys that a stack of papers was coming, FedEx, and I got them. Look at this stack of documents for this car. It is, I mean, it's insane. I've already gone through all. I'm going to tell you, there is countless thousands of dollars worth of receipts here. What I was able to find from all of these receipts was a motor rebuild. It almost looked like they were buying it a few pieces at a time. Camshaft, the crank has been ground, mains and caps 10 over. Head job, all the normal stuff that you would expect with an engine job. What I didn't find was a transmission replacement or clutch parts, nothing for the Muncie. Everything else, including rear gears. The rear gears were redone as well. Glass, every body panel. Unfortunately, I have to admit, it does have new rear quarters, and a lot of other body parts were replaced as well. So apparently the car had some damage, and they went back with some good quality parts. And it looks to me, from everything I've seen, the paint was ordered around April of 2001. So somewhere around there is when this car got painted. So you're looking at a paint job from 2001. That's going to go to Cars and Coffee. I'm going to meet you guys there in the morning. There should be some other pretty cool cars there as well. Maybe a subscriber tool will show up. Santa's Workshop will be there at Wacker Park. So I got to get this done and get to bed. But I just wanted to show you guys the stack of receipts on this car. It's running great. The oil leak has almost completely subsided. And I've got an engine kit on the way, a complete gasket kit from Felpro for this engine. And as far as the transmission goes, we'll talk about that. But I'm considering just pulling that one out and replacing it with another one. You guys tell me what you think about that. If I haven't mentioned it already, I can't remember if I did or not, but this is a numbers matching engine, meaning this engine came with this car in 1969. I've got the stamp on the top there, which matches the VIN number. So we've got an original engine to this car. It's hard to find, guys. It's hard to find something from 1969 that's still rocking the original engine. Small block, big block, doesn't matter. Guys, I'm going to catch up with you in the morning at the Cars and Coffee. For now, I'm going to get out of here. And then when we're done at Cars and Coffee, this car goes to Brian at the Auto Spa. I'm going to have him pull these stickers off. They are really, really brittle, and they've faded quite a bit. So we're just going to take those off. Can always put them on again someday, or if it looks better with them off, may just leave them off. But Brian's going to take those stickers off for us, and in another video, we'll be able to come get the car, see what it looks like, paint corrected, and ceramic coated. Until tomorrow, I guess I'm going to get some work done. I'll catch you guys at the car meet in the morning. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we made it to the car meet. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning, I think. Yep, it is 7:58, so it's almost time. It is chilly, and we've had some problems with this car today. I didn't film it because it's freezing cold, it was dark, and I was underneath the car. Burnt my hand on the header about 6 times. The transmission keeps getting stuck in second gear. So I've learned a trick. I've got a wrench sitting right at the top of the trunk. I've learned that I can climb under it real quick, put it on one of those rods, turn it, and it'll free up the shifter. But she does occasionally get stuck in second. It seems like it's been getting worse and worse as time goes on. So I don't know if it needs to be adjusted, but between sticking in second gear and popping out of first, I'm really starting to think the best thing to do for this is maybe just go pick up another Muncie and another M20, probably a wide ratio, and just throw it in there and be done with it. Call it a day. New flywheel, clutch, pressure plate, all of that good stuff. Put you up under the hood here, make sure she's good. Good pressure on the cooling system. She ain't smoking. She's not leaking from anywhere that you can see up top. The front seal stopped leaking. The rear main seal, it's finicky, man. The rear main seal is still leaking pretty good. So Michael and I are talking. We're probably most likely going to pull this engine, pull the transmission, replace the trans completely, maybe, and do a full gasket set on this engine and throw it back together. New seals, new gaskets all the way through it. Put it back in, hopefully go get the air conditioning charged up and find out that it works. And you guys tell me what you think. I've gotten a lot of comments already on the wheels, all right? Some people think they look sick. Some people really love them. They think the 18s fit it perfectly. And then other people think the 18s are just way too big. There's not enough tire and it looks weird. And I have totally destroyed the look of the car by swapping out the original wheels for these aftermarkets here. So definitely drop a comment below. Tell me what you think. Aftermarket wheels versus the stock wheels that I had on it before. If you like the stock wheels better, we can always go back with those. I've got a set of tires ready to order. Just tell me what you think. I'll be honest with you. My opinion is I'm torn on it myself. I personally think these wheels look good. At the same time, there's nothing quite like that original look that those other wheels have. I'm really torn on that one, guys. So comment below, tell me what you think. Stock wheels versus aftermarket wheels. We're going to come back here in a few minutes once everybody gets here, and we'll do a quick walkthrough, show you guys some of the cars, and I'll see you guys then. Listen to this. That's a nice small block you got there.
Get a lot better gas mileage.
What kind of gas mileage you get?
6.
6?
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
I get 9.
Really?
Yeah, I got 12 at one point coming down the mountains. Yeah. 6 miles a gallon's pretty good. It's worth every penny though. It's worth every penny. God, that's beautiful, man. That is beautiful.
The original engine?
No.
Is it a... I just seen the 450 horsepower. LS6.
This is the one everybody wants right here. 1970, guys. 1970. Looks very similar to mine. Very similar to mine. It's got that nice white interior. Got your Hurst shifter. And the best part is it's got the stock wheels. The stock wheels. I think after looking at this one, I'm gonna have to go back with the factory wheels on mine. I just don't like the look of the 18s anymore. I like these a lot better. I think it just looks right. Yeah. Sucks because then I'm gonna have to sell those. But there it is, guys. Absolutely beautiful car. I love that license plate too. Love that license plate. Yeah, we'll get this one into paint correction next week. We'll get the stripes removed off of it and we'll get her cleaned up. She'll look a little bit better next time we come out here. Good looking car though, guys. Both of them. Let's see what else we got out here. We got a Volkswagen Beetle bug over here. This is nice.
That guy owned it for 40 years. The guy bought it and had it for years.
You know what that is? Type R, man. That's the real deal. It's an expensive Honda right there. Sucker gets it too. It's a nice ride. There's your old school Volkswagen motor right there. It's supposed to be super easy to work on. I don't know. I'm looking at it and I don't know the first thing about it. Don't know the first thing about it. Love the Type R. And some of you may recognize this Mustang from Santa's workshop. He's hosting this. I'll have to find him. He's out here somewhere. He's probably filming, so I don't want to interrupt him. Yeah. Got an old Chevy C10 over here. Very original. Wow. Oh, she's holding her age very, very well. I love it. Got the pipes coming out before the wheel over there. Very nice. This thing right here, we saw this last year. Some of you guys may remember it, and some of you guys may not have seen it. This is beautiful. How's it going?
Okay.
Absolutely gorgeous, man. This thing is cool.
Thank you. Well, my other truck's a little red International with a short narrow bed.
and I got tired of, especially women would say, "Oh, what a cute pickup!" And no guy wants his pickup called cute.
Cute pickup. This one's not cute.
Yeah,
this looks.
I said the next truck I build, nobody's gonna call it cute.
This is very masculine. this definitely gets the job done. It's ready for anything. Well, we had a good long conversation with him about that truck. He's a nice guy, man. Super nice guy. He had a lot of stories to tell us about that truck. That thing is really cool. He built it himself, frame off, did all of it on his own. We got some nice looking rides out here. Look at that C3.
They'll take a stock 5.3, throw twin turbos on it, drag race it, and try to break
That
it
is clean.
all the time.
What do you say?
I don't.
So you finished your C3? It's done.
Well, yeah, not quite.
Have you not shown this on your channel yet?
No.
Oh, he finished it. It's all finished. Look at that. This is nice, Michael. You did a good job on this.
You're taking credit for somebody else's work here.
Oh, this isn't yours.
No.
Oh, okay. Okay. Man, I love the old C3, man.
It is a nice car.
Gorgeous car. 57 Bel Air wagon. Very nice. I love the gold. Another old Chevy. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on all of this because we got things to do, but got quite a few people here today, guys. There's your GTR, gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous car. Mustang, it's like a 350Z. Nice Chevy truck. I think we've lost a few people. There's a couple other Chevelles out here I was going to try to show you guys, but I guess they're gone. They left. Oh well. Looks like, oh, my Chevelle's the only one sitting. I've got the only Chevelle here now. Good deal. All right, guys. Well, I guess that's about it for the cars and coffee. That's the whole point of this video, was getting that car ready so that we could actually get out here and make it to the Wacker Park Cars and Coffee with Michael from Santa's Workshop. I guess we will get up out of here. Several hours later, I was supposed to go home, and I didn't. But then you're not at home either.
Well, I was sitting there in the chair falling asleep. Didn't want to go to the shop. So, hey, I come over to the shop.
Yeah, I can't say I didn't want to go home. I do want to go home. It's one of those days where I got here and I was like, man, I got some things I'd like to get done to the car. And I got that new Starlink internet from Elon Musk. I wanted to get that installed on the roof and run the wires. So I got all that mundane stuff done. And then I got a little carried away on this. I got over here. It was dieseling. You heard it earlier. Yeah. It was like,
that's just too much power.
Yeah, it's or a mistuned carburetor, which was the case on this. The floats, the fuel level was way too high in the floats. The idle I was not happy with, and the air fuel mixture. You know what it was tuned to? The carburetor from the factory, less than half a turn from fully closed.
Wow.
I'm surprised it was
running.
Yes. I start turning it to close them up so I could start adjusting, right? And it's like, and I was like, no way. Yeah. Half a turn. So, she's running better. She's not dieseling. And then after I did that, I decided to check the bolts on my, I found the leaks. These gaskets, they're cracked here, and on the same thing on the other side. Same places, cracked in the same spot. Headers are good. The heads look like they're fine. Just slightly, it sounds louder than it really, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. So I loosened up every bolt to make sure they wouldn't snap. And then I tightened them back down, and it made no difference. But at least now I know every bolt on these headers will come off.
Right.
And I can put them back on again. And then I decided to, run the vacuum gauge. I'm going to tell you right now, this vacuum gauge is a good vacuum gauge. It's not the gauge, but this thing is running like over here, like 30.
Right.
And it's like, so you said maybe the cam. Maybe it's because it's got a cam. This son of a gun, man. It's just brrr. So I can tell you this, tuning the carburetor, I was using the vacuum gauge to tune it.
Right.
Tuning it with the needle doing this number, I had to do a little bit by ear, listen for it to sound just right, and you see the gauge actually starting to come back toward the green.
Right.
And I was like, perfect. Then move over to the other side. When I got it a little bit better, I just left it alone. I just walked away from it. We tried to set the timing. Currently, it is set at 8 degrees before top dead center, and I was reading online, and it said, well, you know, try 12 to 14 is what most people were saying. No, not this one. This one, I put it on 14, and it shot a fireball out of the carburetor.
Ooh.
So that was a little too much there. And I turned it back down to 10, and she was kind of hesitant when you first hit the gas pedal. She just wasn't responsive. So she didn't like 10, but she loves 8. She loves 8. So there it is. I don't know why that is, but she is at 8 degrees before top dead center. So I got a lot done. I also took a look at the distributor cap. I popped the cap off, and inside the distributor is a little electronic control module. The distributor is a Mallory. The whole thing is all Mallory components. There's no vacuum advance. Nowhere. None. So somehow it's all electronic, but I don't see any boxes. I don't see any... I don't know. Somebody's going to have to comment below and tell me how's that work, because there's nothing. There's literally nothing in that thing that I think would be able to control timing without vacuum. It's got me too. I think the last thing I'm going to do before I get up out of here is I think I'm going to pick up this mess. I'm going to roll her over to the lift real quick, and I'm going to do a very, very half-assed oil change just because it's leaking a fair amount of oil. It's not going to get better, and the oil's really dirty. So the idea, the logic here is if I put fresh, clean oil in it, when it leaks the oil all over the driveway, it'll just be fresh, clean oil. Won't leave a stain, right?
Keep telling yourself that.
Of course I'm kidding. I know better. I know. I don't have a filter. I didn't come down here intending to do an oil change. So before everybody yells at me about not changing the filter, I'll do that later. I'll do another oil change on it. That's not a problem. But I think changing out the oil, I'm going to put 1540 in it. The logic there is that 1540 is a thicker oil. Therefore, it will slow the leak down.
Well, and you do have, you know, hot weather coming, which thicker oil will help it.
Yeah. I'll put some fresh oil in it. We'll see what it does, guys. I mean, I know it's not going to make a difference on the oil leak. I'm sure it's going to continue leaking just as bad as it is now. But I don't know how long this oil has been in it, and I really had no intention of changing it today. But since I'm already here, and I do have plenty of oil,
Right.
I mean, might as well just drain it, fill it up, and we'll come back and do another oil change and do oil filter again. It doesn't hurt to do another oil change. You can never change your oil too much.
That's true.
Yeah, and as you said earlier, it's self-changing.
That's right.
As is, put oil in, pisses it on the ground, and wash, rinse, repeat.
Well, what's the old saying? If it's leaking, it's got oil.
Well, yes. I did notice, though, when the dipstick on this gets down to that lowest mark where it's like danger zone, stops leaking. It's had me tempted just not to... It's had me real tempted just to let it get down to that zone there and just leave it alone. It really does. It stops leaking completely. Is that how I should fix it, or should I put a gasket set in it?
I think it needs a gasket.
Yeah.
I really do.
Well, the guy I was talking to earlier with that 70 Chevelle, he said he's replaced so many rear mains on his 454, he doesn't do it anymore. He said he just keeps dumping oil in it and hoping for the best.
That's a radical little motor, too.
Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah, so I'm just wondering if he really had that thing balanced, and if he didn't, that could be knocking his seals out.
Yeah. This one I have receipts for the balancing on.
Right.
So I'm happy to report that back in 19-something, the engine was... If you look inside this motor, I don't know if I can get you guys in there, but if you look inside this motor, it's brand new inside. Like, it is brand spanking new inside. Let's see if I can get you guys... Let's see if I can get you guys in here. Can you get... I could get the borescope out, but I'm too lazy. Look at that in there. I mean, there's no sludge, no buildup. The bolts look new. They did a lot of work to this car, and then they never used it.
Well, I mean, as you said, it mostly sat. I would not be surprised if this thing doesn't have 1,000 miles on it.
Does now.
Well, it does now.
Does now.
Before, when you picked it up.
I agree. I'll bet it. They did it, and it was like, ooh, beautiful car. Don't touch it.
Yeah.
I got a thing where they were taking to car shows, like where they do a number system. It was a negative numbering system. I don't even know what that means. But yeah, I've got receipts from car shows where this car just smashed the competition. Did really well. But I think all they did is they put it on a trailer and hauled it from place to place. There was even a receipt from one of the car shows. It was the class was something about in a trailer, trailered in vehicles. It's a California thing, I suppose. I don't know.
Did anything say Concours on it?
No, I didn't see. No,
Okay.
Boy. Woo! I don't know, guys. I'm gonna get this on the lift. We'll see what the oil looks like coming out of it. I assume it's probably gonna look pretty good. And I know there's gonna be people yelling at me over this 1540. It is pretty thick, but I mean, I've used it many times. I've never had a problem with it. And any of the older cars, they've never complained. Maybe I could check the transmission fluid while I'm under there too.
Yeah.
That wouldn't hurt. I've got the green crap that they used to put in it, so.
Yeah, I want to look at those linkages too.
Yeah, boy. Wouldn't it be great if that's all it was? It just, something needed a little tweak on it or something. Boy, that'd be nice, because climbing under there and burning both hands trying to get your transmission out of second gear is getting really, really old. All right, let's go ahead and pop this drain plug. I cleaned it up a little bit. Look, what do you think? Look at that orange. Oh, that looks good. I came under here and cleaned her up just a little bit. It's not gonna do any good because I assure you it's gonna leak all over again. But at least for now, she looks pretty decent, guys. Look at that oil pan. Looks pretty nice under here. The Hitachi high torque mini starter. And then back there, it's missing the inspection cover. I don't know where that went, but it's gone. But you can clearly see she's spewing a lot of oil over there. Transmission. I'd like to know where the drain and fill plug is, because I assume that's the fill plug right there. I don't know where the drain plug would be, because I would actually like to drain the fluid out of this and fill it up with some of that fresh good stuff I got, just for the hell of it, since I'm already under here. Huh. Almost looks like it would have been right there.
Interesting.
Doesn't that look like that? Well, I don't know. That looks like exactly where a drain plug would have gone.
Right.
But there's nothing there. It doesn't even look like anything was there.
No, nothing's ever been there.
So, okay. Someone will have to comment below and tell me, what are you supposed to do? Suck it out of it or something?
No, I just add to it when it needs it.
Yeah. Sealed for life. We cleaned up these MagnaFlow mufflers. Take a look at these. Oh, those look good. Those look really, really good. This car needs a heavy degreasing underneath after I've gotten done with it. All right, let's pop the, let's sit this right here, and we will pop off this drain plug. Let's see what the oil looks like. I bet it's pretty clean.
Oh yeah.
All right, here we go. 13/16 is the size. That's a big. Got big nuts, is what you said.
Yep.
He said it, not me. I'm just repeating what someone else said. He's got big nuts.
Sure, blame it on Santa.
I'd say I hope I don't burn myself, but I don't think I could feel any more pain today, so I'm all right.
Don't you know by now that you don't say things like that?
Oh, dude, there's chunks coming out of it. Chunks. Oh my goodness. There's metal. I'm kidding.
I knew you was.
He didn't even flinch. He's like, nah, that's okay. A minute ago he got me because he said my frame was bent. He's like, Randy, your frame's bent. And I was like, oh dude, no. No. All right, she looks good. Just relatively clean oil. Take a look at that. I mean, honestly, oil does look pretty good. A little thin. It's also a little warm, so.
Yeah.
And we'll fix that thin stuff with that 1540. We'll make sure we don't have that problem ever again. There she is. There it was. Guess we'll fill her up. I think while we're under here, I'm gonna adjust a shift rod. I'm gonna attempt to.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that on camera, but it's super simple. Number 1 and 2 is the one that keeps acting up, which is this one right here. So you follow the rod, it goes back to right there. There's a clip, you pop it out, take it, and you can adjust it either way. I think it needs to go further forward. So we need to, I'll figure it out. He'll help me figure it out. We'll turn it, I don't know what direction we turn it, but we want that rod to go a little further forward.
Okay.
And hopefully that fixes it. We'll find out.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Maybe that'll solve the whole problem, my transmission coming out of first gear. Then I don't have to replace the transmission.
Well, you know, the way you was explaining it to me, it just sounded like a rod, it just was not fully engaging.
Yeah.
And then you're getting stuck in second. So it sounds like to me that that rod needs to be adjusted a little more in the center between first and second.
I agree. Not that I know anything about any of this, but that sounds right. It does. It makes sense. It makes sense. We'll get on it, guys, and we can take her for a spin and see what she does. All right, she's full of some fresh 1540 oil.
Yep.
You made an adjustment to one of the rods.
Mm-hmm.
You adjusted its rod. We're about
going there. I'm not going there.
All right, first start, and then we take it on a drive and find out if we have first gear. Let's see how first gear feels.
Does that feel different?
Feels like it's going further in. Oh, you may have done it
Well, we may have to adjust it
a little more. Well, before, as soon as you hit the gas, it is over. Like, first gear popped out. It's embarrassing. So we'll know if it's any better.
Right.
All right, here we go. First start. Oil pressure went straight to high. She's cold. Boy, that oil pressure gauge is buried into H.
Wow.
All right, well, she runs. Now all we gotta do is figure out if she drives. Sounds pretty damn good too. Oh, that thing. Oh, it should have been on top of it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I lost my nut. All right, moment of truth. Let's see if we have first gear. I'll try to get away from the neighbors because I don't want them to hear the car mess up. It's really embarrassing. I heard it already kind of click. All right. Yeah. Okay, so it's internal. First gear's gone.
Completely now.
Yeah. No first gear, so no burnouts. Oh well. Oh man. Well, guys, we just got back from that exciting ride, and she pissed on my floor a little bit. That's fine, though. It's just a little bit. It's coolant.
It was the car, not me.
Oh, yeah.
It was close. It was close.
I should clarify. It wasn't Michael. It was the car. I filled up the antifreeze. I topped it off earlier, and that's just its way of releasing a little extra it's got in. So, what did? Let me scoot a little closer because you don't have a mic today. What did you think?
Without first gear, this thing is terrifying. Let me put it this way: the springs in the back of the seat were compressed, and it was not me doing it. It was pushing me back that hard.
We got somewhere around 80 miles an hour.
Wow!
And it was. I mean, I've had it over 120, and I'm telling you, it'll just
go.
And it's not like it takes forever to get there either. Like even in fourth gear, where you would expect it to just kind of really start slowing down,
no. This thing pulled in every single gear.
Yeah.
When you get first back in this thing.
Oh, dude, I'm terrified to get first gear.
I can't wait.
I'm terrified. I am scared of this car with a first gear because the first gear is sideways and tire burning gear. Second gear, I mean, it'll take off good and quick in second, but you're not going to smoke tires.
Right.
I mean, maybe I could. I haven't tried. I don't want to. It's got leaking oil all over that clutch. And I'm terrified to really rev it up and dump the clutch in second. I'm afraid I'll end up slipping the clutch or it'll just disintegrate.
Yeah, with that oil on the clutch and everything, you really don't want to rip it because it'll. If it lets go, it's going to smoke it.
Yeah. That's why I haven't. It might. If you really gave her the beans, it might burn tires in second.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's got torque. Oh,
yes.
Gosh, it's a torque monster.
Isn't that what big blocks are for?
Oh, absolutely.
They're all about torque, man. And I'm telling you, this car makes me smile. It makes me smile.
If it didn't, there's something wrong with it.
Beats the hell out of that electric crap I was driving. What was it, a Tesla or some crap?
Yeah.
Like, what the hell was I thinking?
When I drove that thing, I literally felt my eyeballs touch the back of my skull when I took off. This was very similar.
Yeah. It's a beast, man. I think I got a hell of a car. I've already seen some comments. There's always a bunch of negative comments, but I've seen some people like, "Oh, all you gotta do is rebuild the engine, rebuild the transmission, and then you'll have yourself a good car." Do you know how much it cost? Well, you know how much it costs the body work that went in to make. There's no overspray. Like this was taken apart in pieces.
Yeah, this thing was literally completely stripped down, real close to the way I've got the El Camino right now.
Yeah,
the Caballero, and it was painted, then put back together.
Yes.
Now, what a lot of people don't realize on these builds is you have to put it all back together before you paint it, because you have to make sure everything lines up. You have to make sure everything matches well, and then you disassemble again. Then after you paint it, you put it back together.
Oh, Lord. God forbid you scratch it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And, I mean, I've seen them, they got them wrapped in blankets as they're setting fenders on.
Yeah.
They put tape on the edges of the doors in the fender. That way, if you accidentally bump up against it, it's not chipping anything.
Right.
I mean, it's...
Somebody spent a lot of time and money on this.
Yes.
And in this video, I show them the stack of receipts. I mean, it's huge. It's a mile long. And what I found is there's a bunch of stuff in the 90s, and then in the late 2000s, early 2001, you start seeing all the body parts and little bezels and trim pieces and buttons, like screws and nuts and seat bottoms and seat backs. And somewhere around May of 2001, they bought the paint, Hugger Orange, which it's actually Monaco Orange, but Hugger Orange they're the exact same color. Right. They just called it something different. For the Chevelle, if it had been a Camaro SS, it would have been Hugger Orange.
Right.
But for Chevelle, you got Monaco Orange, even though it's the same color. So they painted the right color. It's PPG paint, and the rest of the products that they were using was 3M.
Right.
And that was the paint. They got the paint somewhere around May of 01. So that is about when it was painted. You're looking at an old paint job. It doesn't look bad for a 20-year-old paint job.
Oh, absolutely not. I mean,
faded, but it was in storage.
Yeah, and you know, usually one that old, you see cracks and things, you know, where the putty has shrunk and whatnot, and I haven't seen any yet.
See, I think with those old stripes removed, ceramic coated, paint corrected, and get rid of these hideous wheels that I loved and now don't, I think she's gonna be a showstopper.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And she's pretty quick for a big, heavy, old carbureted car. Pretty quick.
Yeah, yeah. The springs in your passenger seat might not be right because they pushed me back quite a ways.
It's a fun car to drive. Even in fourth gear, it just goes and goes and goes. Like
it's a torque monster. I mean,
yes,
it will pull it in every gear.
Well, man, I had a lot of fun at the Cars and Coffee today, and I got to talking to this older gentleman about his military truck. And unfortunately, we got so involved in the conversation, I missed out recording a few really good cars. I think a couple more were Chevelles.
Oh, well, I got them in my video, so.
You got the Chevelles that I missed?
Yeah.
Okay, well, damn. I got to talking, and he was out there doing what I should have been doing. He was out there recording.
Well, I was the host of the thing, so I was out there mixing, mingling, you know.
Well, you've got some great Chevelles on there then. Red ones.
Yep.
Everyone was red. Except for this one. Thankfully, I had one that was different.
I've got a gentleman. I know a gentleman. He has a blue 69.
Yeah.
And for the life of me, I cannot remember what he's got in it. But I was really hoping he would show today because he would have really got a kick out of this one.
Well, if you want to see the other Chevelles and some of the other cool cars that I missed out on, go check out Santa's Workshop on YouTube, guys. I'm going to put a link to him down below the video. Go give him a subscribe. He's sitting at almost 20. Almost. You're close.
Almost.
Close.
I'm 8 away from 19 right now.
8, literally, not 800, not 88.
8.
He's 8
Yep.
away from 19,000. So 1,008.
1,008.
Away from 20 in 1 year.
Yeah.
Not bad, man. Go check out Santa's Workshop. Subscribe to his channel. He's got a lot of cool projects. And me, I'm going to go get some barbecue. And then I think I'm going to go to bed. I just want to eat. It's Saturday. I don't know what day this will come, but it's Saturday for me. I just want to go eat barbecue and lay in bed. That's it.
Sleep.
Yeah, that sounds like... I wonder how many times this car is going to burn me on the way home. Hopefully none. That's gonna blister. That sucker's turning out real shiny. That looks real nice.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then this one doesn't look so bad, but it does hurt. I burned both my hands real good on the collector. Both times when the transmission refused to shift, just got stuck in second gear, and I had to climb under it with a wrench on the side of the road and pop her loose. Maybe it won't do it now, though, since you adjusted those rods.
Yeah, I adjusted it out of second back toward first just a little bit.
Okay.
So hopefully that'll take care of that.
I think first gear is about gone on this.
Yeah, I have a feeling what happened is when they put it in, they had it adjusted too far in toward second. And as much torque as this thing is, they got out and romped on it and just... sheared the teeth on the edges or whatever. And now it can't slide back in because it just pops it back out again. You know what would be interesting? I'm probably going to go home and order another transmission for this. I've got a few options. I'm going to go with a wide ratio. I don't want a close ratio. I'm going to go with a wide ratio. I want to see, there's a guy that builds these with overdrive. It's not a 5-speed, still a 4-speed. But first through third are your power gears. Fourth gear becomes like an overdrive, so you can, like for the power tour. Well, I mean, my gosh, the torque this thing has... you can get a wide range and not worry about it.
Yeah, she'll go. She'll go. But I think it'd be fun once we get the engine out and get the transmission out and swap transmission over and everything. This transmission comes apart real easy.
Yeah.
It's a very simple Very simple transmission. I think it'd be fun to just pull it apart. If nothing else, we can take the side case cover off and have a look. Yeah, I mean, you can see the gears right there. You'll see if you've got a broken fork or a bent or something fork in there, or if the gears got teeth sheared off of it, you should be able to see that pretty clearly too. So I think it'd be fun to open it up. If you guys want to see that, drop a comment below, hit the thumbs up button, and let me know. And when we go pulling the trans out, we can take the other one apart and take a look, see what went wrong with it. Maybe even fix it. Probably not. Maybe.
Oh my gosh, they're easy to rebuild.
Maybe. I mean, I think the rebuild kit is like $150. That's new gears and everything.
Yeah, it's ridiculously low.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe, and then we'll have a transmission worth $2,500 because that's about what I'm gonna pay for mine.
There you go.
Drop your comments below. Subscribe to Santa's Workshop. Thank you for coming over and helping today, and thank you for inviting us to your car show.
It was wonderful having you, and thank you, Randy, for everything you've done for me.
Absolutely, man. When's the next car meet?
Second Saturday in March, or no,
May. Second Saturday in May. I wonder if I'll still have the Chevelle by then.
You better, by gosh.
That's literally 1 month away, and I'm sitting here wondering if I'm even still gonna have it by then. I'm bad, man.
I know you are, and I swear, if you get rid of this one.
Oh boy.
I might kick you.
I think my audience might have a conniption fit if I get rid of this one as well.
Oh, dude. I mean,
I'll try to keep it, but I think what a lot of people don't think about is I dropped 43 grand on this car, which is a great price, but I had to pay for that. That money is now, poof, it's sitting there, and I got to drop another several thousand into it.
But I really think in 3 to 5 years, you're sitting on at least $70,000 to $75,000 car.
Yeah.
It's a numbers matching.
Yeah.
Rotisserie restored. I mean, it's an old restoration, but you get this paint corrected, who'll tell? Who can tell?
Yeah. I got receipts for the gears too. I got receipts for everything. Yeah, guys. Drop those comments below, subscribe to Santa's Workshop, and consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. I would appreciate it. I'm going to get out of here. Stay safe out there. I look forward to seeing you all again very soon in the next one.